What's up everyone, Slay Buddha here with another video. I know it's been a while, but I'm here to talk about backtesting, and I think it's really important, and a lot of people don't backtest, or they don't know how to backtest, or they use all those fucking, the simulation things, which for me is just, it's not really helpful in my opinion. So I'm going to go over backtesting for both swinging and scalping, although I'll focus more on swinging, but I'll also run down how I used to backtest and I used to scalp too, so that you guys can start backtesting. It's really, you literally just use trading view and just draw out everything you see. Like, you don't even need to use the replay button. I only use the replay button if I want to backtest like last year or something and I need to, go that far back, but you don't really need to use the replay button. Right, so let's get into it. Before that, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. Don't be a dumbass. Great. Now that intro is over, I've already done a lot of backtesting for January actually. So if you scroll all the way up, at the end of January. So as a swing trader, I backtest at the end of every month. As a scalper, I backtested every weekend. So I'll backtest the previous week every weekend. But my backtesting January 2022, and I just backtested all the pairs I look at. I backtested the whole month of January. So you can look at that over here. I backtested my losses, my wins, break-even trades, setups that failed, setups that won, following my rules, everything I put in my journal. And that's what you guys need to do. You need to have a journal. It doesn't even have to be on Telegram. It could be on, what is it, Notion? Oh, this is a sick trade I took on Friday. I actually entered on Wednesday, I think, or Thursday. So I held for a while, and then she just tanked. Lovely AUDUSD. Okay, off topic. That's besides the point. So you want to backtest as a scalper every, I don't even know where I was right now with that. You have to backtest at the end of each week on Saturday or Sunday, and for swing traders, you should backtest at the end of every month. So you're going to backtest the whole month because you're looking at many pairs and fewer setups for that pair in a month. So I'll start with swing trading. Like I said, you can look at my old ones up there, but I'm actually going to backtest pairs I haven't backtested already. So pairs I don't have my watch list. So I'll sell USD card, maybe do like, I don't know, AUD JPY, because I don't trade that pair either, and I'll look for another random pair, and then I'll go over some scalping. I'll scalp EU, I'll probably backtest EU to see how you guys can backtest for scalpers and intraday traders. So let's start with the swing traders. First thing you want to do is identify, because you're looking at the monthly candle. So January, how did the monthly candle close? Was it bullish? Was it bearish? Just so you can have an idea of whether you should have looked for buys or sells, what the main move was. As you can see here, it's more like a pin bar thing. We pushed up, mostly bullish though. But let's look at the weekly. It's not really important. It's just, brief overview. First, we want to see, was there any setup on the monthly? And no, there's not really setup on the monthly for this one. You can identify monthly structure just to understand where we are. Probably coming to this order block before we sell off again. Most likely coming to... Did we already tap? No, we haven't tested this open. So most likely coming for a sell-off. That's why we are now bullish. But let's go to the weekly. Okay, we're in the weekly. Go to the weekly time frame, and you have to have a journal. What's the importance of backtesting? Before I even go into all of this stuff, why should you backtest? First, you have to backtest your losses. You have to understand why you took losses. Maybe you learn a lot of things when you backtest. You see that, okay, I take a lot of losses when I do this, so maybe I shouldn't do that when I trade. I take a lot of losses when I take a lot of losses when I trade before London. Okay, maybe I shouldn't trade before London. I take a lot of losses trying to trade this setup. Okay, maybe I should not trade this setup, or I should reduce the risk on that setup, So it's just helpful with your losses. Also helpful to build a trading plan, guys, because, when you're building a trading plan, you have to have enough data to trust that trading plan. So of course you're going to forward test, of course, but while you're building, you also have to back test to see, okay, I want to form my trading plan. I have to understand, okay, how would I enter a trade? What setups are most likely to happen in the market? When do they happen? What POIs are the best to use? That's what backtesting is going to do. All going to learn that from backtesting previous data, and just using TradingView. Don't use all those simulation bullshit. Just literally just mark out everything you see that follows your rules or all the concepts you understand. So the way I backtest is going to be according to my plan, of course. But a lot of people out there, they have a lot of different other strategies, turtle soup, all those divergence, blah blah blah. I don't trade all of that, but if you want to, if you know those concepts. Then you also have to backtest that as you have to look into that as you're backtesting to see, when did they work, how can I use them, blah blah blah. Okay, that was rant over. So to backtest losses, to backtest, and also to backtest trades you missed, things you've missed. Like, so when I backtest, okay, let's just start from when I backtest. I'm backtesting the whole month. I like to see where was the high of the month, low of the month. How could I have entered a trade to catch this low and take a buy in January? How could I have entered a trade maybe to take a sell down, a continuous sell down? How could I have caught the highs and the lows? Because that's what you want to enter, especially as an S&P trader. You want to focus on precision, nice sniper entries. You don't have to focus on them, but with this style of trading, that's the whole point. So you can have a huge risk to reward, smaller stop loss, and higher win rate, and so you can understand the reasoning behind each move. Okay, so let's start with USD CAD here. So first thing, I'm going to actually just do it here, back testing. So have your journal. It could be Notion, it could be whatever, it could be private, it could be public, doesn't really matter. Back testing, USD CAD. Okay, so let's see what happened here on USD CAD. Any weekly setup I see. Okay, I see this push down was caused by a weekly raid. We grabbed liquidity from this high and also this high, I believe. Yeah, we also grabbed a little bit of liquidity from this high. So we have a raid. And that liquidity grab was the beginning of this down trend. So I don't think, this happened in December, so I don't think we're going to find any setups based on that. So any entry based on that, because like I said, it happened in December. I'm only focusing on January. So I see here, okay, what happened? We ended up breaking 8-hour structure. So we broke 8-hour structure here, and then we pulled back into this order block. Let's check the daily, it might be a lot cleaner. Yeah, we pulled back into this daily order block after breaking daily and 8-hour structure caused by a weekly raid. Right, so I'll just highlight the order block. Will be. Now, what you're going to do is take screenshots. You have to label out everything. Don't be lazy and just be like, oh yeah, this is what happened, blah 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 blah. Just don't let it be a mental thing. Mark everything out. So what I will do is, so let me even go back to the weekly. I'll go back to the weekly. Let's just remove this for now and take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. You can take it here. I think it's copy link. Or you can just use, I think, whatever, Control S or whatever. I don't know what it is. Anyway, take a screenshot, post it here, right? So this is the first thing. And you always have to take screenshots, guys, because I feel like taking a screenshot is kind of like saving it into your brain. you want to be able to, you want to reach a level of mastery where you can just go on the charts and you see a setup and you take it. You don't have to think too much about it. I don't even spend that much on the charts anymore because I know what to look for. And to do that, you have to understand, you have to train your brain into just understanding structure and understanding all these patterns. You want it to stick to your brain, and that's why I believe screenshots are important, or like to get screenshot of the charts. So anyway, then I'm going to mark out that we broke daily structure. We pulled back into this daily order block, refined it to the gap just for a cleaner chart, and we also grabbed this liquidity from this fractal high, from this daily high. So now this is an amazing setup right there. Okay, so I'll take another screenshot. Now say, okay, this is my setup. This is what happened. It's not like I'm guessing. This is exactly what happened. If you know what an order block is, you know what a break of structure is, and you can use all your other confluences that you guys know. I don't know all of that other stuff, the ICT stuff. You can use that too. What else do you see? Maybe you notice a diverger. I don't even know if you can use that on here, honestly, guys. I don't know what I'm saying. What else do you notice? You can use this as a target, right? Because this is now a weak low that has failed to break structure. So let's see if there's any entry given. So you have the setup now. And literally, you're just marking out what you see on the chart. And for me, there would have been no entry. The entry actually happened, I think, when was this? Okay, this is still January. Okay, lovely, lovely. So for me, following my rules, once I see this break, I would have my limit here. So this would be my entry. And I'll have my limit. It'll take a while, maybe like 2 weeks or so. But, that's the life of swing trading. So that there will be my entry. Lovely sniper. What else for the entry? Any kind of liquidity, anything else you can notice on the chart. As confluence, I see we actually have equal highs. Relatively equal highs, right? Equal highs here. That was that inducement right there. So I will just take, again, screenshots. Not only that, we also took out liquidity from this fractal high here. So I will mark that out. So this is just following my plan, guys. Like I said, you can't just copy me. You guys have different ways of trading, right? So this will be my entry. Take a screenshot to show the POI. Right? Just everything here. And so this will be where my limit will be. Stop loss. So you're not only going to focus on entries, or rather, when you focus on entries, you also have to think, where can I put my stop loss and where can I TP? Where can I put my stop loss and where can I TP? Okay? Because like I said, you're building a trading plan. In your trading plan, you have to know how you're going to enter, how you're going to exit, how you're going to manage your trade. Where can I take partials if you want to take partials, you know? And then I'll probably have a 22 pip stop loss, round it up because it spreads. And I like to TP at 5R. And this between my TP right there. Perfect. And I'll probably leave a runner. But for now, what day is that? For January, you know, this would be the trade and the entry for January for the sells. So just take another screenshot showing the entry and the TP. So the liquidity taken there, lovely entry at the origin, exit at 5R, and voila, that is my trade. Okay, and yes, you can also see, I prefer not to backtest like re-entries and stuff. But you guys can also do that. I prefer not to do it just because of me. But you can focus on maybe also seeing how you could take a 15-minute entry or 1-minute entry. You know, if you want to have crazy. If this is how you get those crazy risk rewards, when you have a swing setup, but a 1-minute entry. Let's actually see. Just for the sake of this video, you know, I don't trade 1 minute anymore. But let's just see what the 1-minute entry would be like. So scalpers, this is where you guys come in. Whoa! What is going on here? So scalpers, this is where you guys come in and you're going to try and see how you can enter a trade on the 1-minute time frame. God, it's been so long since I scalped. Alright, what do I see here? Are these equal highs or is this a raid? Those are actually equal highs. That's kind of sus. But what I see here is we have the first break of structure here on the 1-minute time frame. Break of structure. You can call this a stop hunt. It's not the cleanest, but it's still a grab of that high. He pulled back into this OP. Does it meet my rules? That's the question. Yes, it does meet my rules. And this should be your entry as a scalper. Entry there. Stop loss. Let's just say 3 pips. 3 pips stop loss. And as a scalper, you figure out where you want to break even. You know, if set to break even after the break of structure. I used to set to break even after the BMS. I would have actually TP'd at 5R and then my runner gets stopped at a break even. Or you can, you know, this is how you start learning. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't move to break even until a double break of structure. You know, if you notice maybe your trades are always hitting break even and then it goes your way, maybe you're setting to break even too fast. And this is how you learn. This is how you change and edit your trading plan to see what the most effective way of this of setting your stop loss to break even would be. That'll be a scalp entry. Probably get stopped at a break even, your runner, whatever, turn high TP and stuff. That's not the purpose of this video, but that would be my trade. So let's go on, because there's still a lot of things that happen in this month. So I usually start from daily, weekly to see what happened. So that would have been this sell based off a daily rate and that daily order block. Let's see what else happened. So what happened here? How could I have caught this buy? What was the reason for this move? You're thinking about highs and lows, swing highs and swing lows. How can I enter swing highs and swing lows? So what caused this push up? I see we have a lovely daily rate, very slight rate, but that's still a rate. Inside this order block, that's probably like an 8-hour or 12-hour OB in there. Lovely, there's an 8-hour order block in there. So you have a daily rate inside an 8-hour order block right there. Let's check the 12-hour. That's also another thing, guys. Always check different time frames. Don't just stick to one time frame. Check different time frames. Yeah, check different time frames. So we have that 8-hour order block, a daily rate inside the 8-hour OB. It makes sense to look for buys. So I want to understand the structure here. It makes sense to look for buys. I might not trust those buys, but because of the daily rate, I will take it. I wouldn't take it off an 8-hour OB. I'll take it off the daily rate, following my rules. So we have the daily rate. Sorry, let me take a screenshot. Daily rate. Let's see. There might not be an entry for this one. Oh, actually, there might be. So this is the setup for this move up. Daily rate. Put it in your journal. Take a screenshot. Now let's see if there is an entry for me. And it doesn't look like there's an entry following my rules. So no, I wouldn't have gotten an entry for this one. After breaking the structure, we didn't pull back into more discount levels, so I would not have entered this trade. You can also backtest, okay, how could I take this entry? I personally would not look for more re-entries. Actually, wait. This is another setup I like to trade. If you're a student of mine, you know, okay, lovely. This is another perfect setup. So I would miss that trade. I wouldn't get a nice entry down there, but after this 8-hour break structure, impulsive break, I'll look for a trade here. Right there. So let's see if I can actually find a refined entry, since that's an 8-hour OB, and I'll refine it to this 1 hour. Ooh, lovely trade right there. Ooh, I forgot to take a screenshot. I forgot to take an 8-hour screenshot. Okay, wait. Sorry, guys. It's kind of hard to like talk and backtest at the same time, because usually I'm really fast with it. I'm so fast with it. Okay, so we have this 8-hour zone. We have to call liquidity from here. And once you're taking the screenshots, once you backtest, once you have enough chart time, I'm telling you, it's gonna be like muscle memory. Seeing this, because this happens all the time. How do I know I can take a buy from here in the live market? Because I've seen this too backtesting. I've seen this happen countless times. Countless times. There's so many confidence for that trade. But yeah, 8-hour POI, refine for a better stop loss, a better risk to reward. And this is what? This is the second trade on this pair for swings. So I don't want this video to be too long, and I don't want to give away too much of my strategy, honestly. Because like I said, that's for my students. But honestly, if you watch my videos and put everything together, it'll be so easy to learn. And I have a lot of people telling me that from my videos, they're profitable, they're more consistent, they see things differently, and I'm just so happy about that. So anyway, don't know what I'm talking about that. But entry would be around there. Now, where would I TP? Well, where's a safe place to TP? Here, because we have a weak high, which is liquidity. We have this liquidity point here. So of course, I'm going to take partials before price gets here, but for like, I can take more partials off here and then, you know, leave a little runner, right? So this would be the perfect entry. It bugs me that it's not like refined to the actual, to here. Okay, lovely. With an 8 pip stop loss, most likely. Maybe even 10 if I want to be more generous. What else do I see? So what else do you see here? I see we also took out this low here. That fractal low got taken out. So this would be my entry. Wow, this is actually really clean. Maybe I might add USD card back to my list. What day was this? 26th of January. Anyway, take a screenshot. Another thing to notice, guys, is chart patterns. Think about momentum. See how aggressive the push-up was, and see how corrective this looks. You can also draw that out if you want to draw the channel thing. Fine, you can do that too. Whatever confluence you need for your trading, you can add it to your charts. You know, like I said, I don't trade a lot of things people do. You can, what else do people trade? You might say, oh, this is Judah swing. Actually, I don't know what that is, guys. Do not quote me on that. I do not know what a Judah swing is. Just ignore that. But yeah, that will be the second setup for this month of January. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing. Also backtest potential losses. You know, if I see a setup or loss, could I have taken? Nothing else here. I usually don't go lower than the 8 hour for my setups. So yeah, that's it for this month of January. That's all I could have taken on USD CAD, and that's lovely. That's following my rules. That's 2 trades I could have taken, and just these are great trades. This ran up to like what, 10 hour, 8 hour, 15 hour, I don't remember, but you know, great trades. Let's see what even happened after here. So yeah, I mean, you'd have taken partial and probably gets without a break even, but anyway, that is January. Let's look at another pair. One more pair. Let's do AUD JPY. And then after this, I would go into scalping. So this is literally just like this. That's why I always have my screenshots here. And once you do this every month as a swing trader, and also, of course, don't just wait for the month to end. Also, backtest last month. I'll show you guys after the end of this video. I'll show you guys my Excel sheet on my backtesting. I'll show you guys on what I do. But for now, let's just focus on this. Okay, so January AUD/JPY. Let's see how the monthly closed. Just for a brief review, it was pretty bearish. Bearish close. Any kind of setup or anything I can see here. I see we have a lovely monthly rate. I removed this pair from my list, but let's see what this pair gave in January. We have a lovely monthly rate, which it started this bearish move to the downside. See how this month was super bearish after the previous month grabbed that liquidity. Looks like it pulled back into something, and now maybe we can see us come target this low. I want to see us take out this low, maybe into this order block. But anyway, we have a monthly rate that started the push down. Let's see what happened. So I'm going to look for a setup on the weekly. Is there any kind of setup I see on the weekly? Not exactly. Nothing here for me. Let's check the daily. Again, I'm only backtesting January, guys, so I'm not looking down here. I'm just looking at what happened here. How could I have caught an entry? So I see here on the daily, we actually grabbed liquidity from this high. And this was towards the end of December. So this happened on the 4th of January. So we grabbed liquidity from this high right there. Actually, we took it out on the 5th of January. But let's see the entry confirmation. Sorry, screenshot. I always forget about the screenshot because I'm talking at the same time. So this will be my setup right here. Liquidity was taken out on a daily time frame. And it's just the same thing over and over again. Break of structure. Did I post it here? So that will be the setup. Yep, setup and break of structure. Now, my limit is going to be up here. But actually, this is something I'm actually learning as well through my backtesting. Through my backtesting, when does it make sense to enter off the extreme and when does it make sense to enter off the breaker or enter off this hidden base. It'll be a hidden base on another time frame. So this indecision candle or whatever. I'm backtesting and I'm planning on taking more live trades now. Without, what am I trying to say? I'm backtesting to see when to enter off here, where's the best POI to enter from, basically. But just for the sake of this video, let's just say I had my limit there, just for the sake of the video. But I also understand that this is oh wait, we didn't even come back into here. Never mind. This may have been a mistrade. So most likely this would be a mistrade. Where did we pull back into? So you see what now I'm gonna try and see, okay, where do we pull back into instead? It's not just a matter of, okay, it's a mistrade. It's also a learning opportunity. And I see we pull back into the 2-hour base. 2 hour here. And what do we do in the process? We took out this liquidity with it. So what I would do is, let's see if I can find a re-entry. I don't think there's any re-entry for this one. But this would have been the best possible place to enter. Especially because we had that inducement the day before. And we took out that liquidity. So I'm just going to do this. So anytime in the future when I see, it doesn't even have the AUD/JPY, when I see another pair, when I see this exact same thing happening, because it's going to happen again. It's going to happen. It happens every week. This exact same thing happens almost every week, guys. So next time I see this, I know that, okay, when I see, I'm not going to give it all away here, but my students know why I would enter off here instead of entering off there if I see this in the live market. Where can I TP? TP at this low. Weak low structure. The best place to TP structure. Of course, I'll probably take partials along the way. That's nothing I want to learn. I want to get better at holding large partials, large runners, or just like not TPing too early. But this would be the best place to enter. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to take a screenshot. Let me just try to go 2 hours. Take a screenshot and post it here. And what I like to do sometimes is I'll just go through everything when I'm bored, but maybe when I've taken a loss and I'm doubting myself. I just go through my backtest and see, okay, my setup does work. It works. It's not 100%. No setup is 100%. Nothing is 100%, but it works, But let's see if there's any 15-minute entry I could have taken here. Nah, not really. Maybe in the future if price comes back. I don't know. But anyway, that's it for that setup. Let's check the daily again and see if there's any more. And then we'll go into more scalping, and I will end it here. Let's see. So this is literally all you're doing. It's super easy. Now, actually, let's see what happened if I wanted to take a sell from the order block. Because, you know, if I'm watching this live, it's very possible that I might be expecting to sell from here. Actually, I will be expecting to sell from here, not here. But let's just say I'm watching this live and I'm thinking, okay, we're going to take out these highs into this OB. Was there any confirmation given? Okay, so let's see. So I might have even taken a loss here. So what I would have noticed, if I'm watching this live, I would have noticed the first break of structure here. I'm just not a lot to enter somewhere up here. Let's see if there's any nice POI to enter from, actually. Whoops, 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 whoops. Where are you going, bruh? I don't know why it's acting so slow. Anytime I make a video, it just decides to act really slow. Okay, so following my rules, there wouldn't have been any entry for me because I don't see any nice POI to enter from. Everything looks tested, nothing looks fresh to me after that break of structure. Yeah, so I wouldn't have entered off anything because just there's nothing clean for me. This order block here, but it's not high probability actually. Let me check. So I like to check all the time frames. Don't just stick to one time frame. Check different time frames. That's another thing. Once you start learning about like different kind of candle formations and chart patterns, when you start getting used to it, you see that a lot of times on different time frames, other things will appear. Like see on the 30-minute, we have a clean order block here that I would not have seen. I didn't see it on the 15-minute. I didn't see it on the 1 hour. It's on the 30-minute. We have this trend line thing. You can extend it too if you want. I got taken out. And this will most likely be my entry. So this will be a loss or break even. Let's see the stop loss first actually. So yeah, I'm okay with the let's say 13 pip stop loss. And this will most likely be a loss. Very close to my break even. Very close to 2R. Let me see if there's any way I can refine this. So as I'm backtesting, I'm going to see if there's any way I could have refined that so it could have at least been a break even. But there was nothing clean on the oh my god. There's nothing clean on the 15-minute. Maybe I could have refined my stop loss. I don't like using 5-minute, but I might have to go down to the 5-minute time frame. Where is it? It's so slow. It's annoying me. Okay. Nah, for me there's nothing. I don't like using the 5-minute. Let's check 45-minute. And if there's no way, then this would have been a loss, which is fine. I took a loss here, but you know, if I entered this trade, that would have been an amazing win. This is the one from here. This one. But yeah, I'll probably take a loss here. Very painful loss, but and you have to take a screenshot and also put in your journal. I'm not gonna do it because I'm kind of lazy to, you know, go over that again. But you get what I mean. So you take a loss here, and that happens. And maybe once you understand why you're taking losses, you can better, you know, you can avoid losses this way. Because now I know, okay, maybe when it's a higher order block, I should just wait for price to go to the higher one instead. Something like that. I don't know. It's just when you make observations, you can learn from them or whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say. All right, let's look at anything else on ADJPY. Okay, we have here daily order block, a daily raid that caused a break of this structure, and we have this daily order block right here. So let's see how I could refine this. Maybe taking a risk entry. Maybe waited for confirmation, but I prefer to take a risk entry because my setup, my rules, according to my rules for this trade, not a risk entry because it did confirm by breaking structure, so not exactly a risk entry. But let's take a screenshot. I've got to take a screenshot, guys, but let me just do it because for the sake of this video, I'm going to take a screenshot, even though I don't really have to, since I'm not really properly backtesting. But just for this video, raid. Break of structure, lovely retracement kind of pattern, I'll say, like corrective move to the downside, so you can draw out even this if you want to. We draw something like this. We actually have Trend line liquidity, I got taken out. But take a screenshot. Go to the 1 hour time frame. Oh, this has been a lovely trade. I actually missed this entry on AU. I deleted my limits. AU had a similar setup, and I deleted my limit because I was bearish. I changed my bias. But this would have been the entry. Actually, what's the stop loss first? 26. Let's see if we're going to refine that a little bit. If there's anything clean on the lower time frame. Maybe refine the order block here. Still kind of big. Let's check the 15-minute. Again, you guys don't have to over refine. I had like 3 swerves this week because I refined, but it still met my rules. Okay, that's as much as I'm going to refine on the 30-minute. So this will be my risk entry, not risk entry. This is my entry confirmation because we broke structure. Structure is everything, guys. Take a screenshot there. We have inducement. It's just the same thing over and over again. Once you have your setup, your bread and butter setup, it's just the same thing over and over again. This would be my entry right there. So let me just. We also have this low that got taken out too. Right there. I think it was like a 23 pip stop loss or something. Let's say 24.5. Okay, and this would have ran up to, what day is this? 31st of January. Okay, still in January. And let's just see if it hits 5R. Yes, lovely. So this would have been my entry. Lovely trade. And you see, it's just the same thing over and over again, guys. Same thing over and over again. So this would be my setup. 5 out of taking major partials, probably in for this structure or something. But there is this order block here actually. So, but 5 out for me is a good number, especially if you're risking 2%. Okay, and that is it for AUD JPY. So as you can see, of course, I already have my trading plan, so I know what to look for. But for beginners, like, if you guys scroll up all the way, I mean, I don't recommend doing it because it's going to take you a lot of time. But if you scroll back all the way, maybe if you go actually up to all my pin messages. Yeah, if you go all the way to my first pin message, you see when I first started off SMC, and I didn't really have a plan. I didn't even really know what I was doing, but I still backtested, and that's when I started seeing things. I started noticing things that happen over and over and over again. And that's what you guys want to do. You want to get to a point where you've seen the same thing happen over and over again, so you're confident trading it. You're confident trading that setup. Okay, let's just see if there's anything else on this pair. So 8 hour. So this was that daily rate, I believe. Broke structure. Blah blah blah. There was an 8 hour rate here though. What is actually happening right now on AJ? Oh, sorry, I'm not getting distracted. Okay, let's go into scalping. I hope that made sense, guys. What I'm looking for daily, weekly, 8 hour setups that meet my rules and how I can take entries off of them. Or I'm just gonna mark out the ones that would have been break even, the ones that would have been losses, get statistical data, which I'm gonna show you after the whole video. Just how I have all my different how I collect statistical data, things like that. But let's look at scalping. I haven't scalped in so long, guys. Wow, this is gonna be like Hontani Sashiburi. Don't know, I'm speaking Japanese. Anyway, so for scalping, it's gonna be a little bit different because you're gonna backtest at the end of every week. You're gonna look at each day, see what happened in New York, see what happened in London, and see how you could have traded, gone into entries, what setup form, how you could have entered the trade, how you TP, blah blah blah. Okay, so we're gonna do EU. Let's see what happened the past week. So we're bullish. It was a bullish week. Look at this kind of super bullish. So ultimately you want to look for buys. However, as a scalper, you don't only have to trade buys. You can also counter trend and things like that because you're scalping, right? You all need is a few pips. for your trades. So let's see. What I do after that is I'm going to go through every single day, starting from Monday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the 31st of January. So starting from Monday, I'm going to see, okay, what happened in Monday during New York and during London. Okay. How could I have caught the low or the high of the day? Here we have, this is New York. London is, so this is London. London went down. New York went up. So if you trade London, you're going to ask yourself, how could I have taken a sell and how could I have got into buys? You know, what happened? You can also maybe understand 4-hour structure. So for scalping, I'll recommend using mostly 4-hour, 15-minute as your structure. But we're we're bearish. There's no point. There's no doubting. There's no question. We're bearish. There is a daily hidden base here though, that caused this push up around here. It's daily hidden base. You can go look for it. So I'm expecting this high to get taken out into here most likely, because we didn't really, well, we could also sell from here. Actually, we actually broke through here, but I'm expecting to sell from this weekly order block here. But anyway, besides the point, let's look at what happened on this day. Okay, so I see we've already broken 1-hour structure to the upside. That was on Friday. We broke the 1-hour structure there, pulled back into something here, but we didn't really, okay, we did break the structure, but what I would notice, how I would trade the sell is based off a raid that happened at 4. And for me, London opens at 5 o'clock, I believe. London opens at 5. So I see this raid here, this grab of liquidity from this high. I'm expecting some kind of pullback, at least. Maybe even take out this low, or take out any kind of liquidity. Maybe this trend line thing that's forming here. I'll just draw it out. There's probably some kind of ugly trend line thing there. So we have this 1-hour raid. Take your screenshot. That's the sell setup. So you have to have your higher time frame setup. If you notice, I always have a higher time frame setup and a lower time frame entry. So this would have been my higher time frame setup. So I'm going to look for an entry from 6 o'clock. Let's see what the entry would have been like. I'm only going to do like 2 or 3 days. Okay. So let's see there's a nice entry given. So we had the rate happen. The rate happened around 5 actually. Yeah, the rate happened at 5. So I want to enter. Is this the right one? Yes, I think it is. Anytime from 6. Did we break any structure? Yes, we broke all of this to the downside. We broke this, we broke this. Sorry, we broke this one here. And we had a lovely, lovely pullback. I probably wouldn't enter off that small candle. I'll probably enter maybe off a 3-minute candle. Just so you don't miss out on the trade. I mean, the stop loss is going to be small anyways. This lovely entry. What else do I see here? Right, so you're going to take a screenshot of the entry, of course. If you want, you can decide to actually just refine it here, because this would have been the best possible entry, right? Any kind of liquidity, yes, I see. We actually took out this high right there. We had this range, which in itself is inducement, accumulation. Everyone buying the breakout of this range, you're going to get stopped out because eventually we're going to sell down. Anyway, my voice sounds kind of weird, huh? My brain sometimes just like goes off topic for some reason. My attention span is not the greatest, but 2 bip stop loss, more or less. So this would have been the entry for me. Lovely entry. If you entered here, you get stopped out, and then you can just enter here again. Following your rules, whatever. Where would I TP? The best possible place to TP? Structure, low. So I'll take most of my partials off here and leave a run and see how this would have been a lovely 16-15 hour trade. Right? But this would have been London. So this is what's going to happen during London. This is how you could have entered the trade London. You take your screenshots. Let's just move it back to. Take your screenshots of everything. So the next time this happens again, you know how if I see this exactly same thing happening, you have to understand the concept, the idea of it, because the candles won't form this exact same way, but the idea of it is what you want to understand. I see, okay, we built up liquidity here. We have this impulse and this sort of retracement. The momentum is more bearish, things like that. You have to notice all these different patterns. Anyway, so that's London. I'm not going to take a screenshot and put it in my journal because I don't scalp anymore, but that's London, right? Now let's look at New York. So we pushed up from here. You're going to ask yourself, why? What happened? What could have been the reason for us to push up from here? And you see to the left, okay, we have an order block. Lovely. We have an order block. That's where we pushed up from. Can we refine this OB? We just refined 30-minute OB. So we have this OB. Yes, I know we called this a raid before, but technically it's also a break of structure on this time frame at least. You can refine it even to here. So we have this order block here. We also have this grab of liquidity here. Lovely. And we also have this kind of trend line thing here that got taken out. So you're going to take a screenshot of this, put it in your journal. Next thing, go to the 1 minute time frame for a confirmation. How could I have entered this trade? Was there any confirmation given? Let's see here. We broke the structure. So the first break is actually down here. So we come into the order block. We're still bearish at this point in time on the 1 minute, and we shift structure here. First shift was after this break. So the best entry would have been this one. Now I personally, when I'm scalping, I don't like entries like this because there's no inducement. For me though, but when you're backtesting, you're gonna notice that okay, this would have been the best possible entry stop loss either here or maybe even down here for a safer stop loss. And then we have another break of structure. So you can also backtest re-entries. That's another thing you guys should backtest, re-entries, because sometimes you don't miss it. You don't get the first entry. So how could you have got this entry after this break? Especially after now we've created this, we have this liquidity here. So if you entered off the extreme, you wouldn't be tagged in. But if you entered off the 2 minute, you still won't be tagged in actually. So for this one, maybe you'd have missed it actually, unless you entered off the 3 minute order block here. So again, you just put your buy sell thingy. See how we grab that liquidity? Lovely, lovely. And again, this is just following my rules. You guys obviously have your own trading plan. You have your own, different things. You know more than me. Most of you probably know more than me. All these IST stuff. I didn't watch IST. I couldn't get into these videos. Okay, so entry there. Best place to TP at these equal highs. Right there. And you understand we're bullish because the 1 hour already broke structure, and we also broke structure there on a higher time frame. Target there, that'll be like 5R, depending on where you put your stop loss and how you enter. You might miss the trade, but potentially, this would be, you'd have caught the low of the week more or less. Okay, so that's it for Monday. Those are the 2 possible trades, and you can also look for re-entry. So let's see if there's actually any re-entry given. I should also look at that. Okay, re-entry. I personally don't like this re-entry because it's not in discount. And at this point in time, I'll be in my bed getting ready to sleep. So I personally wouldn't catch any re-entries. But you can, backtest, see, okay, how could I have caught all these other re-entries? What do I notice, blah, blah, blah. But let's look at the next day. So again, look at the next day. If you guys trade Asian range, breakout, whatever, liquidity, whatever it's called, all those fancy names, you also backtest that. I don't backtest that because I don't really trade based off Asian range. Or you can backtest time and price. I don't know all those IC terms, but this is how you you backtest it basically. Just everything you see on the chart, just label it out. Take a screenshot so it can be stuck in your head, and do this every week or every month depending on your trading style. And trust me, in the when you're live trading, you're gonna see it happen again and again and again and again. Okay, so let's look at what happened on this day. This has been last year. I do on Tuesday. This was the high. This was the low. This was actually beginning of London, so around 4 or 5. I don't remember. I think it's 4 or 5 for London here. I don't really consider sessions in my trading anymore because I just set my limits. Usually they do get hit during London or New York, but in particular I don't really consider it because I don't scalp anymore. But yeah, let's see what happened here. Now I would not have entered the trade here following my rules just because I believe London opens at 5 and I don't take a trade before London opens. So let's see what actually, the sell looks like the main thing here. How could I have caught a sell here? What do I see? What do I see? What caused price to push down? And I see, okay, we have an order block right here. Right? You have a very obvious order block. And this is how I also came to, figure out which order blocks work best and which ones don't. It's also a 4-hour OB, so you can do that. Okay, lovely. Order block. Potential for a reversal or retracement. Or even a complete, complete reversal or retracement. Now, let's see the entry. What am I going to notice? I'm going to notice first we have lovely equal highs. Well, lovely trend line inducement or like a range, even training ranges. A lot of buy stops here, sell stops down here, breakout traders are buying, all the stop losses down here. But this whole area is liquidity, just everything like this. Lovely liquidity that got taken out. That's the first thing I'll notice. Take a screenshot. We broke structure here. 1 minute structure got broken and we pulled back into here. Okay, we pull back into here. Now, why is this area very special? Why here and not here? That's the first thing I ask yourself, because this is also a valid place. A lot of people, they might be wondering, a lot of people who ask me, like, how do you know which order book to choose, blah, blah, blah. Why here and not here? Let's check all the time frames too, so don't get stuck on one time frame. Check all the other time frames, just see what they look like. Just see what the candles look like, because a lot of times you have to understand different candles. Anyway, so why, bruh. Why here and not here? Because this one has the liquidity resting below it. Simple. So what you can decide to do, enter here, stop loss there. Or put a tight stop loss there. If you get stopped out, just enter again. There are many ways you can go about managing your trade and managing your risk. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to just give you ideas on how to figure out what you can do following your trading plan. You know, I can't just give you my trading plan, because everyone has different personalities, they have different, you know, styles, depends on your time as well. So if you do decide to put your stop loss above, okay, EU has small spread, so let's say 5.2 pip. Well, the best place to TPB, structure. Okay, so you can get 4R. I personally don't like to have less than 5R for my trade. So I would probably just sell the 5R, and that will be my sell. And then if you have a tiny stop loss, let's say 2 pips, this would be, you know, this would be like a 10R, 20R trade right there. Right? But see how everything's come together. You have to take the screenshots, show the inducement, show the different entries. You will decide if you want to put your stop loss here or here. I can't tell you that. How you can exit. You can exit at liquidity or exit at structure. Where would have been the best place for maybe a runner. Things like that. That's what you have to do build your trading plan. And you can see, okay, we actually took out this low here, so you could have TP'd there as a final TP and then we flew. Now let's look at re-entries now, because actually this is also in line with this entry happened during New York. Let's go to the 15 minute. So this sell here happened during New York. What happened during London? So London was the push up. London was the push up. Okay, let's see how I could have maybe gone into these buys. Let's see, we have this 15-minute order book here. And we also already broke this structure. And ultimately we know that we can sell from here. So now it's just a matter of looking for how we can buy to sell. Right? So London was more like the buy to sell, buy setup, so you can sell in New York. So let's see, we had the 15-minute POY broke structure. We want to look for buys to take out this high and then eventually look for sells. Let's look at the entry. After this, I'll be done with the video. Maybe I'll make another one based on the trades I took last week. I don't know. I kind of have time today. Today's a free day for me. Alright, so let's see. The first touch happened here. If you took this entry, you would get stopped out. And this is one reason why I stopped trading 1 minute, just because I find that my win rate is a lot more. Sorry, my win rate is less. I take more losses. My risk to reward ratio is amazing though, but my win rate is just, it's not worth it. I'd rather have a high win rate. Anyway, and my win rate, my RR when swinging is still pretty good, so it's more than 5R. Anyway, so if you took an entry here, you would probably get stopped out. Okay, so you're gonna note that down as well. The first entry, you're gonna get stopped out. Why could you have gone stopped out? Maybe the inducement wasn't really clear, although we do have this kind of this low here, this low here. But anyway, momentum wasn't really on your side either. Push up, push down. But let's see how you could have got another entry. We have another, so this will now be the real stop hunt. Where's the first break of structure? I see, okay, we break this structure here. We also break this one. And then we pull back into this zone. Right here. Pull back into the zone. Take out this liquidity. This is more like break and retest liquidity, right? Because a lot of people buying the retest, all their stop loss down here. Use as a target. Everyone's selling the breakouts. We go for buys instead. So this would have been my entry right there. As to where you want to put your stop loss, that's up to you. You can put your stop loss here, you can put your stop loss here. But let's just say you put your stop loss here, 4 pip stop loss. And what is the potential for this trade? Where's your target? Your target is that high because that is liquidity. 3R, okay, maybe you want more. And if you target 5R, this would be your trade. Right there. Although you might get stopped at a break even. Actually, you might get stopped at a break even for this one. If you decide to move to break even, maybe after 2R or something, you get stopped at a break even. But that is what happens. Maybe you notice you get stopped at a break even too much, so you don't move to break even, things like that. But that's how you figure out from backtesting, basically, what works and what doesn't work. And this would be the trade. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if it was helpful for you guys. Maybe it was too rushed, I don't know. But basically just do that for every day. How could I have caught this buy during news? How could I have caught the sell? What happened during London? What happened during New York? Where was liquidity built up? Which oil blocks did price respect? Things like that. You know, if you want to backtest structure too, maybe your problem is structure, then just backtest it. Just draw out everything you see on the chart. Really, just literally label out all the breaks and everything. It's literally that simple. Just label everything you see, following your rules and following the knowledge you have. You know, all the different concepts you've learned and you've studied. Okay, so that's it for this call. Let me know below if it was helpful and if this helps you in any way. If you have any questions as well, leave it below. I'll be free to answer. Like I said, backtesting is really important, guys. Really, really important. You really start to see a lot of things when you backtest. And I'm not saying you have to backtest every day or every week, but especially if you're new to these concepts and stuff, you always have to backtest, man. Just to know what you're doing and just to be ahead of the game, really. Because the more you backtest, the more experience you have behind the charts and the better trader you're gonna be. Simple. So that's it for this call. How long is this video? Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you. I forgot. I'm gonna show you guys the completely forgot. So here's how I collect statistical data. So pairs, blah 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 blah. The setup that worked, blah blah blah. So from this, I start to see which setups didn't work. Where do I take most of my losses? Now I've noticed I take most of my losses when I trade counter trend trades based off a daily rate. So now what can I do? Am I gonna abandon the setup? No, because they do work sometimes. Like here it worked. That was on the counter. Like here it worked out. So it does work sometimes. But maybe I'm gonna risk less. Instead of risking 2%, I'll risk 1%. Or if I risk 1% initially, I'll risk 0.5. Something like that. So I can really see what works and doesn't work for me. Max RR to see how. People ask me how long should I hold my trade for. I don't know. What's your average RR? I know that a lot of my trades see they're running 22R. Some of them don't even run that much. Some of them don't run more than 5R. So just to see any comments to see why I took a loss. Like I took a loss here. It's not a good buy area because maybe there was liquidity resting right above it. So right below it. So I shouldn't have taken buys from there. Things like that. And again, this is not accurate. This is just theoretically. I would have taken 33 trades in January. Follow my rules. And these are just for different risk management plans. Like I risk 2% on my private, but if I'm on a funded, I'll probably risk 1% and TP earlier. Things like that, just to see what my win rate is, my thingy rate is, and I've done this for all these months last year. So like for instance, I think May was a good month. Was it May? That was a good month. Yeah, May was a good month. And then February was a trash month. Last year, February was trash, bro. It was so trash. Not that many trades and not the best win rate, but still profitable once you follow the rules. Again, this is all theoretically. I might take more losses. I might take more wins. I might take less trades in general because I'll miss some setups. Things like that. So it's just all theoretically, but this is just me collecting data to use. So I can just have more confidence when I trade and stuff. And just understand what works and what doesn't work. Okay, that's it for this video. How long? Whoa, that's a long ass video. Well, you guys asked for me to show you guys a backtesting video, so you better watch it if you want to learn. Peace out. Have a great weekend. I might do another one right now on like trades for this week if I have the time and the energy. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'll leave my journal link below as always, and peace out.